Hey guys, welcome to the video where we test the DJI Mini 2 drone in sub-zero winter temperatures. So it's January 4th today, in the new year, and we are going to be testing out the DJI Mini 2 drone at altitude as well as some different positions. So we ascend and everything is looking good at the moment as we continue to climb. As you can see, the fog coverage begins pretty low in altitude, and it was snowing earlier in the day. I didn't know how that was going to affect the drone, but I did need to test it in this weather. It's about 20 degrees Fahrenheit, so that battery is dying fairly quickly. It wasn't at 100% when we took off either, but we're going to get that flight altitude warning, which has now disappeared, as you can see. And we're going to be ascending. We're already in the fog, and I can't really see much, but that GPS box that I was looking at that you guys can kind of see in that bottom left-hand corner still tells me that we're good. Of course, we're only 2 feet off of where we originally set our home point to, which was on my deck. But we were about 1,200 feet in altitude to the top of the clouds last time I flew the drone up there, so that's kind of what I was aiming for. And I pretty much, I thought we were probably going to get there. You know, I didn't know for sure, but on our way up there, I began to grow less confident when we got to about 1,100, 1,200 feet. I didn't see any clearing, and I thought maybe I was getting up there, but if you look at the drift, the vehicle is starting to move over. It's now 20 feet from where it originally took off, and now it's moving about 3 miles an hour. So as I got to 1,250 feet, I could begin barely to see the clearing, but unfortunately I did not want to risk that as it began to drift. It was at about 60 feet. Now I'm trying to manually correct it. It would have been a flyaway drone if I hadn't done that. Now I'm descending again. Now that we're at 1,000 feet, the drift kind of stopped for the most part, which is good, but as you can see, we're going to get a lot of different warnings. We have a motor error check, and that actually concerned me a lot because if one of the drone motors goes out, we're going down. The drone needs all 4 engines to fly properly, and though it can hover with only 3 of its motors in terms of lift, it cannot fly because it won't be stable. So that concerned me a lot. My biggest concern was getting it back on the ground as soon as possible. So I began to descend as fast as I could. Kept getting that SD card full warning, so the footage was then being put onto my phone. Then I got a weak GPS signal, and it was confusing because I had about 27 satellites connected at that point in time, which is way more than what you actually need. So I was descending as fast as I could and hoping to get the drone back, and at this point, I was pretty sure that I was going to lose it in one of the snowbanks. So I descended the drone. We're going down pretty quick at about 6.5 to 7 miles per hour, and we're going to switch now just to that main camera as we finish out our descent. So at this point, I'm on the deck. I'm ready to hand catch it, but it keeps moving over, so I didn't know what was going on. It said it wasn't moving, but it definitely was. Just getting one last look at the fog as I bring the drone down. I was ready to catch it or go hunting for it, whichever happened, and I got really close to the deck. Figured out that I was probably going to be able to catch this drone, even though it was very scary. So I moved the drone back now as I'm kind of hovering, but as I let go of the throttle, it didn't want to hover at all. It took a long time for me to actually be able to catch this drone. So, talking a little bit more now about how the drone performed, I was not very happy with it, to say the least, and I'm going to get into that in just a split second. So, the first thing I was not happy about was the amount of drifting that it would not stay stable, and that was my biggest concern for most of the flight, quite frankly, except for one thing that we will get into in a minute. But I was not very happy that the fact that it drifted, even when it was down, ready for me to catch. I mean, I understand with the jetway wind up there, it's going to be moving quite a bit, and I give it credit for not drifting very much when it was at altitude, but I was just not happy with the performance when it was lower to the ground. there was no wind once you got below that thick fog cloud layer. And the fact that the drone was doing that, I was not happy with. And once I landed, I actually got a compass calibration warning. It was not going to let me take off until I recalibrated the compass. So it could have been part of it, but my thought is what actually threw off that compass, because it was fine when I took off. And when I was going to catch it, it just would not stay in one place. The drone is here now. It's recovered and it's fine. But I was just very, very concerned, to be quite honest with you guys. And the next thing that I was not happy about was the amount of warnings I was getting from the drone when we were in that fog layer. I don't know if any moisture is actually getting inside of the drone through those vents at the front, or if the temperature was getting to it. I can't really think of much else, but I got a series of GPS warnings when I had well over 20 different satellites connected, and that's just what I don't understand quite about this drone yet, is the amount of weird warnings it gives out. And I got that motor error warning, and when I got that warning, my heart kind of sank, and I thought that one of the 4 engines actually just cut out, and that the drone was just gonna fall and either break something on my house. The drone was gonna be gone either way. It was at a couple 100 feet still. And I was pretty scared, so I was very happy to get that drone in my hand, to say the least, but I was not impressed at all by the performance of the drone today. Now, that being said, the positive things about the drone that I saw from the test today is that it did pretty good in terms of its battery conservation. Did not run out of battery on me, and I did not lose connection between the drone and the controller at any point in the flight. It was not even close to being low signal, so I was pretty happy about that part of the entire thing. So overall, the drone had some pretty good footage. When I got back down, there was actually ice on the leading edge of every single one of these propellers, and I was thinking that maybe some water or moisture got inside the actual electrical propeller unit, and that's probably what happened in terms of that. But the footage was pretty great. It all transmitted from the drone to my phone and saved it on video, as you guys saw pretty well. And the drone did okay. I mean, it went up, it did its job, it came back. It didn't get all the way above the clouds this time, and that was, of course, because of the extreme winds that were up there today. But if you guys want to see that video, it's posted. It is the altitude and range test. I also have a music video of when I went above the clouds with the drone. It was pretty stunning. I do recommend you go watch that if you haven't already. But more reviews coming for the DJI Mini 2 drone. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.